Ba'zi bir Nyu-Yorkdagi yurtdoshlarimiz avto halokatga tushib, jiddiy jarohatlar olishgandan keyin yoki ko'chalarda yurib yiqilib tushganda, qolaversa mehnat faoliyati davomida birorta travmaga ega bo'lishsa, ular bu muammolarni mustaqil tarzda advokatlarsiz hal qilishga harakat qilishadi. Ya'ni Googledan qidirib yozib, asosiysi advokatlarga murojaat qilmasdan o'zlari mana shu muammolarni mustaqil tarzda hal qilishga harakat qilishadi. Bu narsa, bu yo'l juda ham noto'g'ri, chunki advokatlarga murojaat qilish kerak. Avvalambor bunday xizmatlar bepul va demak siz istagan tilda, rus tili, o'zbek tilida, qolaversa tojik tilida ham ko'rsatilishi mumkin. Va agarda Nyu-Yorkdagi yurtdoshlarimiz mustaqil tarzda o'z muammolarini advokatsiz hal qilishga harakat qilishsa, nima bo'lishi mumkin? Ushbu savol bilan biz Gabriel Law kompaniyasining advokati Paulga murojaat qilamiz. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Uzbek.
So, would you please tell me what's the easiest way to ruin a personal injury case?
Well, that's easy. So it really does depend on the type of accident or the type of injury that you sustain. But for the most part, if an accident happens and you run out and you say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, that was my fault," that's definitely the worst way. But let's say you're in a motor vehicle accident. If an accident occurs in New York State, plaintiffs have a responsibility to mitigate damages. That means you have to actually try to lower the amount of damages, because if you go out of your way to do things in a way that are dangerous, and then you get into an accident and you say, "Look how hurt I was," then a jury or the insurance companies look at you and say, "Well, you had a duty to do things in a safe manner, and you chose not to." So it's going to affect the compensation level of what they're going to offer you. So by, let's say, failing to put on a seatbelt, everybody knows that when you get in the car, you put on your seatbelt, it's safety first. It's the first thing they teach you when you're trying to learn how to drive a car. It's because if an accident happens, and you never expect an accident to happen, but they happen, that's why it's called an accident. So if an accident does occur, you want to know that you took the proactive steps of the first thing that you could do to try to minimize any potential injury, and you put on your seatbelt. So if you're in an accident and you didn't have your seatbelt on, the insurance company is going to say, "Well, you weren't wearing your seatbelt. You only got as hurt as you did because you failed to do what you should have did when you got into that car. Had you put on your seatbelt, you probably wouldn't have gotten hurt. You probably wouldn't have filed a lawsuit." So I would say that's the most important thing to do to make sure you don't ruin your case right off the bat. Then even in itself, yes, not wearing a seatbelt, it could be detrimental to the case. Does that mean you're not going to get compensated at all? No, because under the comparative fault laws in the state of New York, your own fault in how the accident happened or how the injuries happened will just be a factor of damages. So they'll say, "Okay, our client was more negligent, you could have did a little bit more to be safe, so instead of paying you the full value of the case, we'll pay you 70%. So you can still be entitled to compensation, but it's going to be dependent on the degree of your own negligence and what you did to mitigate those damages.
Very informative. Thank you very much, Paul. And the last question, how can the representative of Uzbek community here in New York have an appointment with you at this situation?
Absolutely. Anyone from the Uzbek community in New York, if you're injured in any way, shape, or form in the state of New York, you should absolutely give us a call for a consultation. We have Uzbek-speaking interpreters and staff always on call, and we're always available to take a call and to provide information.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Hurmatli Nyu-Yorkdagi vatandoshlarimiz, demak, agarda mana shu bundan oldin aytib o'tgan holatlar, ya'ni avto halokatga tushib travma olgan bo'lsangiz, mehnat faoliyati davomida travma olgan bo'lsangiz, yoki qolaversa ko'chada yurgan paytingiz yiqilib tushgan bo'lsangiz, kuchi uchlab olgan bo'lsa, Xudo ko'rsatmasin, mana shu holatlarda albatta advokatlarga murojaat qiling va xususan Gabriel Law'ga murojaat qilishingizni men tavsiya qilaman. Hamma telefon raqamlarini ushbu video tagida yozib qoldiraman. Xizmatlar bepul va sizga qulay bo'lgan tilda ushbu xizmatlar ko'rsatiladi. O'zbek tilida, tojik tilida, rus tilida farqi yo'q. Kelishdingmi? Demak, yana bir bor qaytaraman. Ushbu kompaniyaning telefon raqamlarini video tagida yozib qoldiraman. Bungacha esa Mr. Otabek TV kanalida va Gabriel Law'da yaxshilik bilan ko'rishganda, ko'rishguncha